Welcome back, Global War in 1939. We are moving on to Italy's seventh turn of the game. So we got a few different things to do. Three small battles. One's just a walk-in, and then a little bit of non-combat. Spain is now pro-axis, so we can go ahead and activate that. And it's pro-axis because if you own two of the three victory cities in Russia, which we do, and Paris, then Spain will declare war on the Allies. Now, the flip side of that is Portugal will declare war on the Axis, and they'll be fully aligned. They don't need to be activated. They auto align, which is good for the British. And then these three nations down here will become pro-allied, and the Americans can activate that. Now, Chile will become pro-axis, but we got no way to actually get down there, so it'll just stay pro-axis neutral until the Americans decide to attack it at some point. But Spain is a good ally to align with us. They got a decent standing army, and their navy is decent as well. They get a coastal battleship, cruiser destroyer, and another transport. Out of all the neutral countries, Spain is probably the strongest. So it'll be good to have them and their forces on our side. For our purchases, we do have 40 to spend. So we'll be getting two heavy artillery to replace the ones that got killed on the last British turn, an airborne auxiliary infantry, and then our last 18 will go into a battleship. At which point, then our navy will be back up to what it was at the beginning of the game. If you recall from turn 3, turn 4, there was a series of naval conflicts in 47. Both the British and the Italian fleet both got wiped out. So essentially, we'll be back to what we were at the beginning of the game. Now, for the three battles, we'll be going into Italian Somaliland as just a walk-in, no big deal. And now I'm not expecting this to hold at all, but it's more of a distractionary to keep units away from northern Africa. Alexander will be going in. He has one infantry, so we're going in with an artillery, two infantry, and then our two fighters will join that. Yeah, it's a bit of an overkill, but it'd be a guaranteed win for us. And slightly risky battle in Cyprus. The Italians had two transports in 47 the last turn, and a British bomber came and took them out, landing in Cyprus for safety. But we will be attacking that as well. We got a transport in 39 coming down with two infantry from Rome, landing in there. Now, the bombers are great on offense, not so much on defense. They only defend one dice at 2. So we'll be taking advantage and not allowing that bomber to redeploy with the rest of the British in Northern Africa, as it'll cause us a great many problems at that point. And we also need to go in Cyprus regardless before the game ends. If we own all the islands in the Mediterranean, then we get a point at the end of the game. So the British are kind of doing us a favor. So because we do need that island regardless. Now this just gives us the excuse to go in now as opposed to waiting. So let's do the Cyprus battle first. All right, so we got 2 dice at 2, and he's got 1 dice at 2, so the white dice will be the bomber. So, first round of combat. 2, 4, 10. Perfect. Got our hit. He returned with a miss. Excellent, excellent. So, Cyprus is now under Italian control with the 2 infantry. The battle in Alexandria, again, not really that big a deal. Bit of an overkill, but we had 2 fighters at 6, 9, and 5. Perfect. So we got our hit. He returns with a 9. Excellent. And Alexandria again is back under our control. Fantastic. Okay. So that's the 3 battles. Not that big a deal. Now, in the non-combat phase, our fighters in Alexandria are still going to move them in a 3. So we're going to land them up in Taranto. The 2 tactical bombers that are also in Cairo, they're going to go up to Taranto as well. And same thing with the bomber in Marseille. So we're going to have our entire Air Force in that one spot. The air transport that's in Cairo, we have a movement of 5 because there's no air base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to go to Rome. And we still got 2 infantry in Rome. Now, of course, we do need to activate Spain. So we're going to bring our light tank is going to drive down to the Spanish capital in Madrid. Now this activates all of Spain and of course their navy, and then the cavalry, that's also going to go into Madrid as well. All right, perfect. So now they're activated, and of course now that activates Portugal, like we already discussed. And then this transport in 64, sorry, that's going to come up to 41, maybe. Let's figure out where we're going to put that guy. Yeah, he'll be perfect in 41. All right, so that is it for non-combat moves. Nothing too crazy. For unit placement, our battleship will go with our navy in 39, of course. The 2 heavy artillery, will build them in Tobruk in our factory, along with our besiglary. And then the infantry will get built in Cairo with the military base. And then our airborne will go up in Rome. For income, all right, so with our territory conquest, we have 38 plus 2 bonuses of 3 each. So now we're the Italians on the next turn will have 44 to spend, which is fantastic. This is the richest we've ever been. So we're going to definitely have to take advantage of that. All right, well, that is it for the Italians. Moving on to the Germans. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day.